Fuck you.
This podcast is part of Britpod Scene, an independent network of uniquely British podcasts that's always growing. Check out BritpodScene.com or BritpodScene on Twitter to find out more.
The RAD podcast is intended for a mature audience. Listener discretion is advised.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Fucking multitasking. Hi, and welcome to the long-awaited next edition of RAD Live, Random Ask Discussion. I am your host, Paul the Hat Guy Flinders, and joining me this week we have Adam Cox.
Hello.
We have the return of Alan Morrison.
Howdy.
And the even more long-awaited return of Lewis Ogden.
Hello, you.
How are we doing?
Alright, how are you doing?
Alright, actually surprisingly warm. Seeing as we're in the podding shed, it's it's an interesting one. I thought it'd be absolutely freezing cold, time of year and all that lot. I thought, do you know what? I'll put my warmest clothes on to just do this show, and I'm actually sweating my bollocks off. So,
Question is, what is the point of you sweating your bollocks off? I'm just saying.
Well, Dr. Dickfingers has already sorted that out. My bollocks is already gone. So.
I was about to say, thank God you introduced Lewis and not Dr. Dickfingers.
Oh dear. So yeah, Coxie, have you been up to much?
Work. Uni open day. Work.
Bit of Tommy Tank.
Bit of Tommy Tank in between somewhere. Which I have to do for medicinal reasons.
In between my 60-hour weeks that I was doing at work, and then so it's been fun. What a work involved.
Fuck that for a game of soldiers. I mean, my days of 60-hour weeks, where they are actually 60-hour fucking weeks, are over. I am never doing them again. I mean, I remember one time, it was a few years ago, when I was in one of the first care homes. Oh no, second care home I was working in, and everyone came down ill because of the massive winds, the really bad winter that we had. Was it 8 years ago? And it was just snowed everywhere, and it just brought the nation to a standstill. And I was pretty much the only person that A, didn't drive, so could get into the work, or B, wasn't ill. So I was pretty much living at the care home. Basically,
Is that when it last snowed?
Yeah, when it snowed. Well, not last snowed. It was the time before, because we had 2 really bad winters, didn't we? Back to back.
Well, did we not have the one in bloody where it snowed in fucking April or something?
Oh, well, what I'm thinking of, it snowed in the beginning of December, and it stayed right through to the new year. We didn't get another snowfall, but it was that cold that the snow just fucking didn't melt. It was just there. I don't know, obviously Blackpool, because it's a bit lower, I think it did melt, but it turned to ice. Whereas I was living in the arse end of nowhere, up at the back of Preston. And
I was living in Durham, where we had snow for 3.5 months on the floor.
I can believe it, mate, because it was really bad that year. I mean, we had it for we had solid, stereotypical, your pure white snow, because it didn't melt for a month, and then obviously it started to melt slowly, and we still had slush for 2 months. It was horrible. And like I say, I was one of the few people that could actually get into work. And by the end of that month, I mean, I was often saying, "Can you do something for New Year?" I was like, "No, one, I'm working, and 2, even if I wasn't, I'm knackered." So
the one I'm thinking of, it was the one where I stepped out of my house once at 3 in the morning, and I stood in my back garden watching this real heavy snow come down. And the sky was orange.
Yeah.
And it was
I remember
impending. Stood there going, fingers crossed.
Yeah, this might be the rapture. It might be time. It might be meteor.
Ready. So if I'm going out, I'm going out hammered.
Absolutely.
As you do.
As you do, it's the only way to go, isn't it?
Yeah.
Get yourself a couple of, a double Jim Beam double barrel, a few bottles of Pepsi, job done. Absolutely.
When the world ended, you just neck it from the bottle straight.
True. We don't fuck the mixer. Fuck the mixer. We'll be drinking it from the bottle, podcasting it live probably. Doing play-by-play. Oh, that person just been hit by a meteor. I can see. Oh, the meteor's landed in the sea. You can see the tidal wave coming over now. Goodbye,
Everyone
cruel
get your
world.
bollocks,
Fuck
gonna
you
get
all.
a bit wet.
Put your swimming caps on, lads.
It's spitting.
Fuck's sake. But yeah, obviously, since Coxey's been a dull boy because he's been all work and no play, apart from his university open day. How did that go, buddy?
It went really well.
Oh, good.
I think they've swung it for me to go there rather than Manchester.
Hey, so whereabouts is this one?
This one's in Wakefield, but it's a completely different course to Manchester because I'm looking at doing live event production.
Right.
So it's not so much a uni as it is like a sort of industrial estate, but it's where they make props and stuff and things like
cool.
these gigs and festivals, all that sort of thing.
Oh wow, that's fucking cool.
Yeah. I'll when we're next nearby, I'll dig out the prospectus for you to have a read through.
Ooh. So would that be starting in September next year?
September next year, yeah.
Ah. So as long as you got Skype,
Hang on a minute. Does that mean you're leaving us to go to Wakefield?
He certainly is.
Will do.
Oh no.
No, that's it. That means in August we're basically all going to get fucking rendered.
Why Wakefield? There's fuck all in Wakefield.
Clearly there isn't. Yeah.
Maybe we'll all drive. I'll drive down.
Lost Art will not die.
It will not.
Will take a brief hiatus. There are places to be podding when I'm there anyway, and just like going to the local library or Mackey's with working internet and uploading.
Yes. I mean, as long as you've got a Skype connection, you're still welcome on RAD Live, obviously, so, we'll get you on as much as we can.
I'm like a chair.
Sorry, mate?
I'm like a wet deck chair.
Yeah, get a deck chair, you'll be fine. Get one of them tablets with an internet connection, you'll be fine. In fact, you can do it off your fucking phone.
Go and lick a park bench.
Yeah.
I
Camp on the park bench.
I was sitting at Mackey's and like, you've been here for 4 hours and you've only had one cheeseburger. You need to leave. Like, I'll buy a coffee.
Just buy my coffee. Refill me, motherfucker.
I buy myself a coffee and buy you one. Will you shut the fuck up? Yeah.
Doris, leave me the fuck alone.
You just cry wolf and say you're on portion control.
Or you could be an absolute arse and go into KFC, get a KFC and go into McDonald's. That could be funny. Try to explain that situation to
I've done that, mate. I mean, I remember going to Preston it was years ago, and there's a McDonald's up in the it's the Fishergate shopping centre, isn't it? And that was there yonks ago, and I remember going in there and getting some fries and what have you. I thought, do you know what I really fancy with these fries? A fucking couple of mini fillets. So I decided, I thought it'd be a good idea. Just get me fries, get me Coke, and just walked over to the KFC, which is pretty much just across the road from the Fishergate shopping centre in Preston. Walked in, bear in mind I've got this bag down by my side, a McDonald's bag. So can I just have a couple of mini fillets, please, in the KFC? Obviously, they do it, serve it, I pay you. And obviously, next thing I do, get the McDonald's bag, put it on the counter, shove the mini fillets in the bag, and walk out. Go, see you later. I got the dirtiest look ever.
Such a fucking rebel.
It's before, but I knew a guy a few years ago who he lived near Fat Man's Corner.
Oh yes.
And for anyone who's listening who's going, what the fuck is Fat Man's Corner? It's a Mackey's, a Subway, an Indian, a KFC, and a pizza are all within the vicinity of each other. Walking distance, whatever.
It's basically the Fat Man's version of the World's End, basically.
Yeah, but his basic thing is for his birthday. He's like, I do this every day for my birthday. It costs about 40 quid. He's like, you got a Subway, and you get like a foot-long BMT or steak and cheese, whatever it was. Then you got a Mackey's, and you get this. You get like fries and whatever else. Then you go to KFC and you get some like a boneless banquet or whatever, and then you got a pizza Hut and you get like a large pizza, and you put everything on the sub, and then you wrap the pizza around the sub.
Fucking hell!
It was this bloke Yokozuna.
He was getting to that size at the point, but he's like, "Oh, you need to try it sometime." I was like, "I don't think I could even eat that much. I'd end up being dead."
Isn't there loads of videos on Facebook at the moment with 1,000 calorie challenge? This bloke goes and does every single one of them.
There's like the Big Mac challenge. There's like some woman, like an Australian woman, who's like, I'm gonna eat this massive cake all by myself, and she does it in like minutes.
Fat fuck.
It's like the one LA's Beast did recently. I showed Paul where he does like 9 million Scoville noodle something daft.
Jesus.
Yeah, he managed 4 bites.
Yeah, I fucking blame him. Talking about noodles and chilies, how's everyone's mouth these days?
Mine's perfectly fine.
Can you guys hear me all right now?
Question there, Al. How's everyone's arsehole?
Can you guys hear me now, by the way? Because my microphone decided to didn't want to play anymore.
Yeah, fine.
Brilliant. Yeah, because I was talking away then. Nothing fucking came up. But yes, my arsehole is absolutely fine. Yes, I had no real ill effects from that chili. I know someone else that didn't have any ill effects from them chilies. Fucking Darren.
Oh, that's
Little pussy punk ass bitch.
That's his one out for the year, though, isn't it?
This is it. We after this discussion, we had this like a very brief discussion. After the show, is that from now on, when we try foodstuffs as a group, you have one out every year. This started at the pubcast, obviously the last show. So, therefore, Darren has had his out. So, therefore, no matter what it is we try as a group, he has to try it. Everyone else has an out, basically. So, yeah, Darren, I'm going to be buying the world's hottest vindaloo, and we're all going to try it.
Oh.
And
Now,
you are trying it.
Now, when you say try it, does it? What does the required? What's the requirement? Is there sort of like
one
a
spoonful
baseline? Right, okay.
One spoonful is all you need to try something, really, when you think about it. So I'm not expecting Darren to sit there and wolf the fucking things. I know for a fact, 1, it's not going to happen, and 2, I don't fancy bringing an ambulance. So no, I'm not expecting to eat the whole thing. But I was looking at it in Morrison's the other day, and I realised the fucking price of it. It's like £3.50 for just one serving.
It's all right.
It's all right. It's all right, but obviously, you know, you're thinking you go to a supermarket, you're gonna get a curry or something like that. And you look around the other ones that are there, and they're all like on the level like £2 or something like that. This one's like £3.50. And I was like, I'm not just gonna buy this for Darren to go. Nah, I'm not gonna try it. So, thankfully,
Paul, the first week it came out as like an introductory offer, and then it did because it was selling like Lad Bible night. It's like it's £1.50 now, but it is going up to like £3 after like a couple of weeks. Because like Morrison's did like the most garlicky garlic bread or whatever.
Yeah, that sounds repugnant.
£1.50, and then it only ran till like Halloween or something. So
I need to get my hands
That's
on
mint.
Morrison's.
Garlicky's garlic bread.
Speaking of Morrison's, obviously the gamble sort that they sort of like the challenge sort of things. I tried the was it the foot-long sausage roll not that long ago, and it was all right. It wasn't amazing. I'm not going to rush out and get it again, but it was all right. And it was, I think it was £1.40 something for this foot-long sausage roll. It's not bad. I think Alan might like it, but it was all right.
Well, the problem that was though for me, it's like someone like biting into it, like, so how is it? It's like, well, it's just a standard sausage roll, isn't it?
It's a fucking sausage roll. It's just the size of it. You know, it's one of them. So yeah, I won't be trying that.
Get your mind out the gutter, son.
Yeah. But yeah, Lewis, how have you been this?
It's me.
It is yours. It's your turn.
Oh my god!
It is your turn. We got round there 15 minutes later.
I've been relatively okay. Well, I say I've been relatively okay. I'm on the back end of this fucking awesome bug that's been going around.
Yeah, it's here as well. The missus has got it. The kids have got it. I'm the one that's not got it. So.
Oh, give it time.
Awesome balls. Awesome
give it
balls.
time. I thought I'd gotten away with it, to be honest with you, but came creeping through on I believe it was Friday evening. I think it was.
Aye.
I think it was like the day I went back to work.
Is it like what's the case of having the toilet roll in the fridge?
No.
Not
It's more nasal and mucus stuff that comes out.
So we've got the typical Blackpool bug where it basically comes out your arse and your mouth, basically.
Okay, so it hasn't hit you as bad yet.
No, but
I've already had it, mate.
Alan Paul coughing fits at the pubcast, to be fair.
What's that, mate?
Al had the coughing fits at the pubcast, to be fair.
Yeah, but I did as well.
Yeah, said.
Oh God, my brain's not working. Sorry, but I thought he said Alan, but I was going to say Alan had the coffee fit because of the fucking chili.
Yeah, I think we all had that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm the back end of it. Feeling all right, Al. Feeling a hell of a lot better than I was Monday. Like I was absolutely bedbound Monday. Couldn't go into work. Like I was that bad. But I've been to Trafford Centre today with Mother Dearest and got my birthday and Christmas present sorted. So, yes, my birthday, which falls on exactly the same day as some grumpy podcaster's son, not naming any names, Alan, on Friday. So I've got that to look forward to. And then obviously meeting up with the Morrison clan and Mateus on Saturday, I believe it is.
Yep.
So
Should be fun.
Mateus is basically an adopted extension of the Morrison clan now. Let's face it.
Well, yeah, I know.
You know, he's more than. I'm assuming he's more than welcome.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, he said this from the start.
People just show up at Alan's house and they're just like, "Oh, you're here." Okay.
To be fair, I am not going to knock Alan's hospitality. It's fucking top notch, so I'm not surprised.
Well, exactly, yeah.
So.
Once a guest, always a pest.
Exactly. He gives you whiskey. That's all that matters. He gives you whiskey. You make you come back for more. So what have I been up to?
What have you been up to?
Fuck you! You don't even ask me, you cunt.
Oh, I thought I did. I thought I did. Go on then, Alan.
I'm not talking now. Fuck you.
He's not that good a host.
Working, but due to at the end of the season, we're just doing close down. Happy fucking days. Yeah. So I now have a life back.
Well, I don't have a job which is seasonal. Even I enjoy the fact that I call it the Sea of Shutters now. It's fucking amazing.
It's like Trump wanted. He got his wall built. It's just on Blackpool seafront.
It's just made of really rusty steel.
Yeah.
Oh,
but yeah, that's finally kicking in, and it's our last ever. Well, not last ever, but our last
last
night
ever this year.
Last of the year opening at Reflex and Foxhall. So I'm looking forward to closing it on Saturday.
Isn't there like a sort of like a locals party sort of thing going on there?
Yeah, it's the end of the season party. So we're throwing a massive end of the season party. Basically, we've not ordered any beer in or anything like that, and we're going to drink the bar dry.
Sounds fucking fantastic. I remember doing one at the Manchester, and it was fucking messy. So, enjoy.
Yeah, so basically I'll be finishing work, and I'll be done by 9 o'clock, and I'll be downstairs drinking.
Fantastic.
And now what happened after Saturday, job-wise?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hi-ho, it's a job centre I go.
God no. I'll have a job. I'll have a job by the end of next week.
You always do, to be fair. Even if it's some sort of garage that you want to burn down, like you did last year.
Exactly. So
you don't work there now. You can slate it. Go for it.
It's a shithole. You such a bastard.
Yeah, I wasn't pissed on your boss Friday. I was just sort of querying if you had something else lined up already.
No.
Does he give a fuck? No.
Use this time. I'm going to basically have a week out that I've had this week and just chill with the family, chill with the kids, all that jazz.
Well, this is what I said to you before, wasn't it? So don't rush back and just spend a little time with with your nipper. But yeah, not too long though, because you'd be skint. So
Exactly, a week.
Yeah, a week's ideal, mate. I'd say that's probably the perfect time. I mean, between jobs, when I moved from Longridge to Blackpool, it was about a week I had off anyway. And then I went to, I think I fucked off to France for about 9 days and then started work. So, it's just one
Exactly.
I'd
always like to be anyway, so it's not going to be too much of an issue.
Yeah, you'll be fine. What have I been up to this week then? Since the pubcast. Again, not a lot.
Masturbating.
Sorry?
Masturbating.
Yeah, but that's for medicinal purposes, mate. I've got to give a sample in about a month's time, so that hopefully we'll get the certificate by New Year.
Chug.
Hang on a minute. I wonder. Do you know there was a joke there? I've just fucked it up.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
What's a pale ale?
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, Alan's favourite. But yeah, this Monday we started doing the Christmas shopping because we got our part vouchers through. Yay! So
You've only just started. Mate, I'm almost finished.
Like I say, we've been waiting for our part vouchers though. To be fair, mate. So now, as soon as we got them, mate, before they even touched the mat on the other side of the front door, they were spent pretty much anyway. So, we went out Monday. We spent a few hours in, the Smiths and all that lot, and Argos, and just buying pretty much just spending, stupid amounts of vouchers on toys and this, that, and the other. And we had a little bit of, money left over. So I thought, right, we'll go and get some dinner because we're fucking starving. And I thought, you know what? I'm gonna go for the this new challenge burger sort of thing that's on at the Flaming Grill pubs at the minute. It's the same pub that we did our first ever pubcasting for the Christmas Crapsack Challenge, but it was something called the Apocalypse Cow. Now, I don't know if has any of you three seen any of this burger in any of the Flaming Grill pubs?
No, but I have seen your pictures.
Yeah, what did you think?
I'm the same.
Yeah, what did you think, Alan, when you saw it?
Easy.
Fuck off.
Easy.
You are talking to the Burger King. The Burger Bitch.
Yeah, the Burger Bitch, Alan Morrison. Now, I took it on. Now, to describe it normally, what you'd have is it's got like... It's on a brioche loaf. A brioche loaf. And it's got 4 quarter-pound burgers on it. So it's basically a pound of burger meat. You've got pulled pork on the top of that. Now, normally you'd have cheese slices on it as well, but I don't like cheese. So I ordered it without that. They obviously have your normal salad. It's got barbecue sauce on it. It's got burger sauce on it. It comes with a stack of onion rings, and it's got a double portion of chips as well.
4. It came with 4 onion rings.
It's a mini stack. Shut up. I'm trying to big it up, damn it. And it had like a double portion of chips as well. And yeah, I have to be honest with you, I fucking failed miserably. As I probably had about, I'd say 2/3 of the whole thing on the plate.
Yeah, you suck.
Yeah, I wasn't too clever with it. But like Coxie said when I was talking to him about it, you said that beef might be harder to do than chicken.
It is, because your body can't process it as much as chicken does.
Ah, you see. So there was another one which I don't think they do anymore called the Mother Clucker. Now, me and Bunkle have done this of Lost Art of Wrestling and Lost Art of Podcasting. He's done the Mother Clucker. In fact, he was the reason I tried the Mother Clucker. Because I thought, I can't have him fucking do it and I can't. So I took it on, did it with extreme pain, but I did it. And I thought, oh look, the Apocalypse Cow. Now I tried it, failed. Alan said he'd smash it.
Yeah, I would.
So Alan said he'd take it on, and Bunkler said he'd take it on. So obviously Bunkle is Lost Art of Wrestling / Lost Art of Sorry?
Okay, so Paul, what are you implying here?
Gee, I wonder. We like having our little challenges. So, Alan Morrison versus James Bunkle In a burger off.
It sounds so wrong in so many ways.
But also so right. So what
right.
we're probably going to do is probably going to Facebook Live some of this. We're probably going to podcast record it as well. Get Coxie, if you don't mind, mate, we'll get your iRig on the go. I'll get the phone on the go for the Facebook Live.
Provided I've got data, I can either do it live on Facebook, Periscope, or Instagram. Failing that, I'll probably just film it and put it on YouTube.
Yeah, there's that as well. So we could actually do that. So, I mean, failing that, actually, I could actually bring my tablet. We could actually podcast live using the Spreaker Studio app, which I have on the tablet, which I have tested, and is fucking brilliant, even without a microphone attached. I can film it. Coxie could film it. I could do it on Facebook Live. You could obviously do it somewhere else like Periscope or film it straight for YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we could do it that way. So multiple ways of doing it. So yes, we'll do that as well as the crap sack challenge. In fact, I think we might actually coincide it with the crap sack challenge. What do you guys think? And it's all gone quiet.
Maybe a double header.
A double header, yes, a double main event.
Before we go, we'll have to go in first and go, do you have 2 of these massive burgers? And we'll find out for you 1 second. Just walk in like, we've only got the bread for 1.
Shit.
What have my own loaf in?
Well, to be fair, we're going to do it in the pub that's across the road from me like we did last year. So what I can do is I can give them a day's warning and say, look, we're coming in, we're doing this, can you get 2 in? Make sure there's 2.
Can you get 3 in? Because I actually quite fancy that.
Fair enough. So Lewis as well, so that's 3.
Yeah.
Do you know what?
Looks like you're doing it, mate, to even up the numbers.
Yeah. Who's doing it?
Probably not, because I know I won't be able to finish it anyway, because I don't eat that much. And even Bunkle knows, he admits this, and he's like, "You don't eat much." I was like, "I know."
Ooh, we might have to get Christ on the go. Christ going for it.
Christ, maybe. But so.
I'll leave that in your hands, Coxie. If he's up for it, anyway.
Yeah.
If not, I'll jump on it and I will represent. I will represent Lost Art of Podcasting, because I do technically appear on there now as well. So that'll be 2 on 2.
Yay!
So yes. So yeah, that's what I did. I failed miserably. Done the Christmas shopping. Pretty much that's it. I think I've been pretty boring apart from that. So it's been an interesting one, not? Apart from, just failing to eat food. So, but yeah, I started to give a small review on the burger as well, because someone was asking on Facebook, Mike Bennett, I'll give you a quick shout out. What was it like? I said, no, wait till the podcast, I'll tell you then. Now, what it was all right actually. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't as good as the Mother Clucker, but yeah, it was tasty. The one thing I did notice about it, which made it a little bit more difficult, was the fact that obviously burgers have a lot more grease than chicken.
Mm-hmm.
The chicken ones do. So what the problem was, there's a lot more juice running through into the brioche, which made the brioche a lot harder to eat texture-wise, because it turned it into gooey.
It's not properly then if there's a lot of juice.
But yeah, it was nice though. It was still good. So I can't complain taste wise, and I can't complain about the quantity that you get, and for the price that you pay, it's not bad either. So yeah, I sort of recommend it.
And this is the guy who whinges about what is it? Morrison selling a £3 curry. Just saying.
Yeah, this is a one-off though. So is the curry, to be fair. But yeah, all right, fair point. Well made. So yeah, we'll do that. But yeah, I recommend it. I do recommend it. I'll give it a good solid 7 out of 10. But yeah, it was not bad. I enjoyed it. So yes, topics. Half an hour in. Topics. So, has anyone got any topics they want to kick off the show? Because I always seem to kick off with the topics. So.
I do.
Go on, Alan.
Right, with Apple releasing the new iPhone X earlier on this week, there's been reported, shall we say, breakages already about it. So well done, Apple, for building a iPhone basically made out of glass. Clever shits. At least use fucking reinforced glass. When you drop the fucker, you're not breaking it. So, as most people know, it's about $1,000 for this phone, and people are breaking it already. So everyone's gone to Apple going, yeah, my phone's broke. And he goes, well, we'll charge you an extra £300 to get it fixed.
Yeesh!
Yeah, I've heard that. Like I saw a post on Facebook. You can either get the iPhone X for $1,000 or subscribe to Pornhub Premium for 10 months for exactly the same price. And then there's a little caption at the bottom saying, "I know which one I would choose."
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. I mean, it's £1,000 for a fucking phone anyway. Who in their right mind pays a fucking £1,000 for a phone?
I'll tell you who. A moron.
Exactly. I mean,
That's got more money than brains.
yeah. I mean, think about what £1,000 can get you. What can £1,000 get you?
Decent TV.
Yeah, a decent TV. You get more use out. Well, I suppose the phones will obviously.
You can get an Xbox X, a 4K TV, and still have change left over to go to McDonald's.
Exactly. You get your munchies in for the night.
For the record there, Lewis, you said it'd get you 10 months of Pornhub Premium, but Pornhub Premium is only $10 a month.
Okay, then 10 years.
Who can watch that much porn though? Who can watch all that porn though?
It's mostly
Go.
isn't it?
What's that, mate?
I'll give it a go.
Oh
They
dear.
feel like Quagmire does for months on end.
His bedroom walls will start looking like a plasterer's radio.
Everywhere. Oh, for fuck's sake. But yeah,
Almost everywhere.
I just can't get over the fact that a fucking lump of glass, as you say, is £1,000. And all it basically essentially does is it rings and texts people.
Well, I'll tell you this much. On whenever it came out, was it Friday when it came out?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. I was just sort of like in my team huddle meeting at work, which is literally in the centre of Liverpool. So if you go up like one floor, you're pretty much going straight out into Liverpool 1. Just across the walkway is the iPhone shop. There was people camping outside the iPhone shop.
Why? It's a lump of glass for £1,000.
Because they're sad acts,
Yeah.
that's why. Do you know what I honestly think it is? I think it's honestly people buying this iPhone X, A, because they can afford it and they haven't got anything else that they want for £1,000, and the second thing is probably they just want to tell people, I've got the new iPhone X.
Yeah, it's all you're buying the brand basically. You're buying the name, and you're buying the ability to flash this phone around and say, "Look at me! Look at how much disposable income I have."
Was it last year? I think it was last year. And it was like some Northwest Tonight or whatever did a little stint about it. Saying like when the new, I think it was the iPad Pro or whatever it is now.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, they were going on to this, like, we're going to the Apple store at Trafford Centre, and there was people outside the Trafford Centre camping. And I went to one of these guys, says, "Why are you camping? What makes you?" "Oh, because I want to get the technology, and I've always upgraded, all this stuff." And then to another guys, "Oh, well, it's an investment, isn't it? I'm paying this sort of money, so I can sell it on later on in life." And I went, no one in about 10, 15 years will want to buy a shitty fucking phone at the price you've bought it at, or thereabouts.
Well, here's the
Why
kicker. Sorry, go on.
Why the fuck are you forking out that much for it to start off with? It's like, it makes no sense.
But the kicker on that one is, what blows that fucking out the water is, what's it fucking made out of? Glass. How the fuck are you going to keep that pristine condition to make it a worthwhile investment? I mean, you see these Nokia 3310s, 20-year-old phones, going for like stupid money, but they're in fucking pristine condition. These phones, can you imagine the phone that you had at school at that age, 20 years ago, and you dropped it around all over the place, you dropped it in fucking puddles, you dropped it on the ground, you scratched it all over the place. Could you imagine that selling for even so much as a £20 note? No. So how the fuck is someone going to look after a glass phone for 20 years without even getting a scratch on it? I don't know.
Well, they just sort of buy it and keep it in the box. They just don't use it. Yeah.
Which is pointless.
Yeah.
Well, you saying that, you're a retro collector.
Yes, but the thing is, though, I don't buy my retro collection to sit and gather dust and make as an investment. I buy my retro stuff to fucking use. I play my retro stuff. Just today, I've been playing Resident Evil 2 on the original PlayStation. Just the other day, I completed Resident Evil Director's Cut. Just because I thought, do you know what? I've got my PS4, but I'm fucking bored of everything I've got at the minute. Do you know what? I'm going to get the old dust off the old PS1, and I'm going to play some old games. And do you know what? I'm actually enjoying the old games more than the newer ones. And
my 8-year-old would be high-fiving you right now.
He's got taste. He has taste. But like I say, actually, this leads me nicely into something I wanted to talk about, which is something I've not got written down. Now, I've been talking about doing sort of like Let's Plays and things like that. Just me dicking around on video games, put it on YouTube and what have you. Now, obviously, I've been having technical issues with this lump of shit PC at the minute. But we're getting around that now, which means I can concentrate on getting the recording and capturing of PS1 coverage on the computer. So what I've decided I'm going to do is I'm going to start doing like a sort of like retrospective sort of playthrough of all the original Resident Evil games, going from 1, 2 and 3 to begin with, and then maybe move up onto PS2 and move on to that way. But what I'm thinking I'm going to have to do is do it via emulator, which, because I own the games, I can actually download the ROMs and use them as backups technically, legally they're backups. So I can do it that way. So we'll have to see. But I could also, as well, if I've got the disc on the actually got the disc, I can actually shove the disc in the machine and just play it straight off the disc via the emulator. So hopefully at some point we're going to get some footage to put on YouTube. It's going to be starting off with the Resident Evil Director's Cut probably. So
happy days.
Happy days. So if you lot, and this is the listeners, or obviously hosts as well, if there's anything you'd like to see played, which I can get my hands on, because I'm not downloading stuff illegally, obviously, then yeah, just let me know, or let the show know, and we'll see what we can get done. So
I think one straight off the top of my head that would be absolutely awesome to see played is an all-night session on Soul Calibur.
Oh, do you know what? Funny enough, I actually own that game with multiple pads. So that is doable. I mean, I've got stuff like on PS1. I've got stuff like Bishi Bashi Special. It's a shame I can't get Time Crisis going, but I do have Time Crisis because the light gun.
I had a conversation with someone not so long ago about Bishi Bashi. They were like, "What the fuck is that? It sounds like some random Chinese porn film or something like that."
It does sound like some random. It sounds like something you'd buy off Wish.com, but it's actually it's sort of like what WarioWare before WarioWare was a thing. If you remember what WarioWare was,
yeah,
it's basically a shitload of mini games. It's basically
I know. It was just like I couldn't believe it. I was there going as if you don't know what fucking Super Bishi Bashi, Hyper Bishi Bashi special and all that jazz. I was just there going, what's going on? And my wife reminded me, Alan, you are like 33 years old and all this shit, and I went, shut up.
I'm 30 years old. Except my birth certificate says I'm 33 years old, but the brain says I'm 3. Absolutely, mate. That's part of being a bloke, though, isn't it? You physically you grow up, but mentally it never fucking happens.
Such a good game.
I don't hear any denial.
Track and field in PS1 was unbelievable.
And I have that as well.
You didn't have blisters in track and field. You are not playing it right.
If you get blisters playing track and field, you are not playing it right because you get a pencil and play it that way. You never done the pencil trick.
Yeah, but that's cheating.
Yeah, well, it had to be done. Remember one time, I remember blistering my fingers playing Mario Party. That wasn't fun. Because I was doing the, when you put your knuckles down on the buttons and you got backwards and forwards on the buttons to make it go really, really quick. Yeah, I did that, and obviously the GameCube buttons were protruded a bit, so I was just basically ripping my knuckles apart doing this. It's safe to say I never did it again. So, yeah, it wasn't
such
fun.
good game.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll hopefully be doing some PS1 coverage before long. We just need to suss out the emulator, get it up and running and what have you. You know,
that could be a fun evening.
It could be. So we'll get that going. So sat in the shed playing PS1 games sounds fun. So
it does.
It sounds like the end of Shaun of the Dead. So.
Oh, who posted that? Oh, I can't remember. I think it could be one of my other mates. Posted Time Splitters was like, what was their favourite game of the year? What was their favourite game of all time? And you'd love to see a reboot. Someone put Time Splitters on. And it was just there going, shit, yeah, that would be amazing now. For basically had the same storyline as Time Splitters, but now would be absolutely amazing in today's graphics.
Yeah.
It'd be well good.
Yeah,
reminiscing the past.
Fuck it, while I'm at it, because there was a topic I was going to write down, but I thought, fuck it, I'll leave it. But now you bring it up, talking about remakes. What video games would, obviously from the past, say, we'll put like a sort of like a deadline, sort of games have got to have happened before the PS2. So Dreamcast is included. What games would you like to see remade? Not a sequel. The games that didn't have a sequel remade.
G-Police.
Ooh, that's a good call. That is a good call.
I lost hours and hours and hours playing that. So good. Hello?
Hello.
All right, okay. I think just everyone went quiet.
I'm still here. I'm guessing Paul and Coxie have gone. I don't know whether are you still here, Coxie? Yeah, Paul's gone again.
It's me, Mike.
Oh, well done, you big fucking fat twat.
Oh, I'm so glad they caught that.
Oh, that's live as well. I can't edit that out. But yeah, my microphone's playing tricks, so it's looking like it's going to be time for a new microphone soon. Yay.
Yay.
But yeah, G-Police is a good shout for a remake. Anyway, I'll tell you one that I would love to see remade is the original Gran Turismo. With the old cars.
It's got to have the original soundtracks on it, though.
Absolutely.
Because, to be honest, Gran Turismo was an absolutely brilliant game, but what made it better was the fucking music.
Yeah, it was.
That's how I got into Feeder, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, it's fucking great. Like the soundtrack is amazing. Gran Turismo 2's soundtrack's okay, but the first one was just fucking. I'd still say to this day it's probably one of the better soundtracks to any of the Gran Turismo games. It was
like Forza 1 and 2 were absolutely brilliant. Forza 3 came out and they lost the music. They had some diddy fucking dubstep crap on.
Oh, don't get me fucking started on Forza 3. I got a copyright strike because of Forza 3 because apparently the music was copyrighted. Because I put a gameplay video up and I got copyrighted not for the footage but the fucking music. I was like, what? If you're going to copyright strike me for anything, it'll be the footage that I've used rather than the music.
Well, yeah, it was like that was a letdown. And then, of course, the rest of the Forzas, it's just like no music whatsoever, which is absolutely irritating as fuck. Because I'm sat there going, it's good to be racing around and have some random cool track on playing in the background.
You see, I'm different. I'm more. I'd say I'd rather listen to the actual engine sounds. I'm more of like I'd turn the music off. But if it's a good soundtrack, then I wouldn't mind keeping it on. Case and point, Need for Speed Underground 2.
Yeah. Quite happily.
Exactly. I mean, that's another game
That's
that could
how
be
I-
remade. That's past the deadline, like, but that should be
Need Speed
remade.
Underground 2 is how I got into fuck, what they're called? Rise Against.
Oh yeah.
Because
Well,
something there.
Need for Speed Underground 1 got me into Disturbed because it had the song Decadence on there.
Mhm.
So that's what I started. That's how I got into Disturbed and what have you. So yeah, soundtracks wise, you know, that's also. But remakes of games from the PS1 down. Jesus Christ. I'm just trying to
GTA
think now.
London 69.
Yes.
But has to be the bird's eye view down.
See, I don't know, because that's sort of you can't really, apart from obviously, you know, making things look more polished. I don't think you could actually change too much in that. I get what you're saying from it. It'd be nice to have
like proper music to it this time and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. Change the soundtrack and stuff. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, perhaps. You may. Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah. Tell you one game again, sort of like the same sort of same sort of lines as G Police also would be amazing to be remade because it's the same. It was the same publisher, Psychosis or Psygnosis, or whatever it was called. The Colony Wars games, all three of them.
Yeah.
Absolutely
Warzone
loved them.
2100. That could be entertaining.
This is
or any of the Command and Conquers.
Do you know what? That's a good shout. Command and Conquer, yeah, the original Command and Conquer remade. That'd be a good shout, actually. I quite enjoy that. Coxie, what about you, mate?
This factors down to one of three. So they're all N64. There's Body Harvest.
Oh, yes.
Which is the predecessor for...
Something's going on in the background.
Granny's...
Could you be making any more noise, Alan Morrison?
But I'm not going to. There we go.
Sorry, Coxie, carry on, mate.
There was that. There was Black Corps, which was on N64, and we got re-released on the Rare Replay set on Xbox One.
It's quite good, that, actually.
And there was also Space Station Silicon Valley.
Oh, that was a good game.
I never played it.
It was really good. Essentially,
I'll have to hunt that down.
You were a chip for this like robot where they crash. It's like this guy called Dan and his robot. I can't remember the robot's name, but they crash onto this actual space station with all these animals. It's all like mechanical animals. So you're like the chip, and if you're out of a body, you're constantly losing your life force, whatever. But if you can jump into any random animal, a bit like GTA with cars.
Oh yes.
Each different animal has like a certain ability or task or whatever. So you can.
There is a game like that that's out on the PS4. Now, I can't remember what the fuck it's called.
Oh no, yeah, it's Ark, isn't it?
Possibly, but it's like you roaming around like Tokyo, but you're different animals. It's like a post-apocalyptic sort of thing. So you could be things like a donkey or a cat or anything like that. There is something like that knocking about, so it might be worth looking up. I can't remember what it's called, but there is definitely a game out on PS4 that does.
Was it Horizon?
Sorry?
Horizon. Oh, something Horizon. I'm sure it is.
Not sure, but I know it's set. I know it's in Tokyo, but it's like you can. Like
Right, no, it's full free roam. It's huge. It's the whole of Japan.
Possibly. I don't know. Anyway, it's on PS4. Definitely. I've seen like footage of it. Definitely on PS4. It's out on the PlayStation Store anyway, so definitely on there. It's there's something along them lines anyway.
There's Let's Play videos of all three on YouTube, so you can either pick it up and watch it for someone playing through the game, or whatever. But I think all three of them I'd love to see remade, even though you have to sort of tweak Body Harvest. It was apparently glitchy to fuck as you got later into the game. And it was really that bloody hard. I never got past like the second area. So
right. So I'll have to look it up. So Body Harvest on the N64. We'll look it up. At the minute though, I am watching playthroughs of Resident Evil 2 at the minute by a guy called The Gamer Shankster. It's actually quite good. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. Lewis, what about you, mate? What got any games you'd like to be like remade. Now, obviously, PS4. I don't know if it'll be slightly before your time, but PS1, sorry, slightly before your time or not. Depending on when you got into gaming, obviously.
Well, I came along sort of. I can remember having an old Sega Mega Drive, and obviously I had my old Nintendo 64. Sort of thinking the only one that I can really think of. I'd love to see sort of a remake of maybe like a Streets of Rage or something like that.
There was something like that, wasn't there, Coxie? I'm sure it's been remade.
Really?
I don't know if it was on Xbox 360 or not. I can't remember.
Streets of Rage. I don't. No, they remade Golden Axe. You're thinking of that?
Oh, that's it. Yeah, sorry, my bad. Yeah, they remade Golden Axe. That's my bad. Yeah.
They brought out a really awful one on PlayStation 3, I want to say, which got slated to fuck apparently.
I know there's a version of whatchamacallit, on the Sega Classics on PS2. There's a version of Golden Axe on there, which is okay. I mean, I got it for Virtual Racing alone, the remake of Virtual Racing on PS2, and it's fucking amazing. But yeah, that's another game I want to see remade properly. Is that Virtual Racing? Because I used to fucking dump loads of time into it, despite it only having 3 tracks. So, I'm assuming we got Alan back.
Yeah, I'm here still.
You disappeared.
No, I didn't. It's quiet 'cause you were talking.
All right, you was offline and it went back online, so I don't know. Oh well. So yeah, I think that's anyone else with any more that they would like to see remade. Any games from
Shadow of the Horned Rat.
You're gonna have to explain that one.
It was one of the first. It was one of the first Warhammer games out on like console, and it's basically, it was like massive. You could have like a huge army and you just basically beat the shit out of other armies.
Ah, fair dues.
So it was like a strategy game, but it was really, really good.
So I'm trying to think if there's anything else I'd actually want to have remade. Now, obviously, there is one game that they've already slated to say could be remade, and apparently there's a very loose deadline of it being released some point next year. Is the Resident Evil 2 game that's supposedly being remade?
See, I can't play remake of Resi games because it was. If you're gonna want to play it, go back play it properly.
Well, it depends. And I only say this because it depends if they remake it like the Resident Evil remake, or if they're going to do it like it originally, exactly as it is, but updated graphics and updated gameplay. Because the remake of Resident Evil, which is available on PSN, is completely different from the original Resident Evil, because there's different bits on the mansion. It's even bigger. There's new enemies, there's new bosses, there's new everything. And it's just a completely different experience. In fact, it's fucking scarier. A lot fucking scarier.
Well, I've got a friend listening now who says, bring back the original Lemmings game. That was amazing.
The original what?
Original Lemmings.
Yes! Remake that motherfucker. You're absolutely spot on.
I had to explain to my eldest what Lemmings was, because I was playing on World of Tanks, and there's this thing called the Lemming Train. Basically when everyone goes down to one side of the map instead of spreading out supporting each other. So we called it the Lemming Train because everyone's just off follow the leader basically. So it was like, what's a lemming? And I was like, right, it's a little creature, it's just similar to a gopher. Oh, okay. It was like, so why a Lemming Train? So I'm sat there, I had to explain the whole entire game of Lemmings to him, and he goes, it's a pretty pointless game really, isn't it? And I went, get out.
Get out. You're not a real gamer.
I can't believe when you're starting to shut up.
Yeah, no, you're wrong. You're wrong. It's pointless. Anyway, we'll move on. Because we're getting towards like an hour, so we're going to have a very brief break shortly. But first, we're going to do the RAD tradition of our foodstuffs trial just before the break. Now, I have with me, which I bought weeks ago. I remember putting the photo on the group chat that we have. It's I saw like a really weird, colourful bottle in Home Bargains. Now it's a bottle of J2O, a weird, really like sort of weird sort of flavour, and it's on the bottle. It's got like a flamingo at the top, and it's got like sort of like a tropical sort of vibe on it. The flavour is grape and lychee flavour, J2O. Now, I just thought I'd pick it up, and I think they don't sell it in Home Bargains anymore. That's how long ago I got it. And it's just been sat in my fridge, because obviously it's been a while since I've done a show in the Podding Shed, because the last show was obviously the 1 year anniversary at Reflex. So, obviously I've been holding on this, and this has been winking at me for the past like nearly 2 months. So, I'm just going to read what it says on the bottle. It says, discover the Tropical Affair range at j2o.co.uk. See what else is on there. There's not really a lot on there. What is a bit strange is there's a purple box on the back of it with 3 X's on the side on it. So, okay, that doesn't scare me.
That's promising.
That's promising. But it's your typical J2O size bottle, you know, like a Bud bottle or a Beck's bottle or something like that. It's, as you can hear, proper glass bottle, not one of them plastic ones.
Ding, 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 smash.
Yeah, ding, ding, smash. Well, at least I don't have to open the bottle top, do I? But yeah, other than that, it's your typical 275ml bottle top. Bottle. It's best before June 2018, so it's well in date. So yeah, I may as well just open it up and, you know, let's see what it is. So I've got the bottle opener here. So let's just, I don't know if you can hear this. Hopefully you can. No, that didn't hear that. I was hoping it to make like sort of like a ching noise when I opened it up, but it didn't do fuck all. But yeah, that's off. So I'm gonna give it a quick. Well, it's like a yellowy colour on the inside.
Did you shake it beforehand?
Yes, I did shake it. I have shaken it. So there's any bits in it, they're going to be roaming around free. Give it a sniff. Oh. It's the smell I've just got off it. I've just had Vietnam flashbacks.
You weren't there, man.
I was there, man.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
It smells like not far off. It smells like the tropical malt drink that I had. Remember the Mr. Malt drinks that I tried?
Yes.
There was a tropical one. It smells exactly like that. It's filling me with a bit of dread at the minute.
Yeah.
I'm putting this off. So let's give it a whirl. So
just drink it.
Bottoms up. Okay. It's different. It's not something I would pick. It's got the same sort of thickness as your normal J2O bottle. You know, like drink.
Mm-hmm.
It's not too bad. It's not great. It's not amazing. It's definitely got like it's definitely got like a malty sort of like aftertaste to it, which is strange to me.
Just wait until you try the kind of spam I've got you.
Oh fuck!
Can of spam.
Can of spam. He's got to say Coxie's got a few bits and bobs he wants to try. Now I don't know if he's. Are you keeping them secret?
No, not secret at all. I'd try one tonight, but all that energy drinks apart from one.
Right.
So I might have to, when we do a show at the Podding Shed, I'll do it next to Lost Art. We'll get them out.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna say just 1 minute because I'm having a little technical difficulty at the minute. My telly's decided to turn it off, and I can't turn it back on.
By technical difficulty, party people, he means his ballsack.
Yes. Yes, indeed. So at the minute, I can't turn the telly on. It's on sort of like a standby sort of red flash, and I can't get it fucking to turn back on again. It's like an error code. It's weird. I don't know what it's doing. So yeah.
We'll take a break and we'll get back to you as soon as possible.
I can't pause it. I can't put the adverts on.
I was going to say, it's just like, it's going to be difficult for him to pause it when he can't fucking see out.
Well, I've just unplugged it and plugged it back in, hoping it was the right plug. And it's still doing it. Oh, for fuck's sake. Live radio for you, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, for fuck's sake.
This is comedy gold.
It's absolutely brilliant, isn't it? This is typical RAD tech for you. Oh, God. Here we go, we'll plug it back in again. It's still doing it!
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Jesus Christ!
When you podcast on a budget of 0.
Yeah. See, to be clear on this is a TV that I inherited off the mother. Now, we have a rule on this show. If it comes from the mother, we...
Oh, dear. Oh.
Is this the point I really want Xander to be here?
Oh, dear.
This is comedy gold. This is absolutely awesome. Oh, you knobhead.
I'm pretty sure he's gone as well. This is where we could really do with Paul's soundboard.
Why? You can't see the fucking TV.
Oh, shit.
I don't know how the fuck that's going to work.
Oh. And yet, we're still more professional than Radio 1.
That's not hard, to be honest.
I know, but...
So while we're still waiting for Paul to stop effing and blinding at his TV, anyone got any other topics to fill the space?
Just a shame we haven't got... Just a shame we can't hear it. I don't know if I've got anything that I want to leave for the second half, to be honest with you. Well, speaking of food, did you not have a topic about a certain type of pastry?
Ah, yes, the pastry. What is the perfect donut filling?
Raspberry.
Yeah, I kind of agree with raspberry. I'm partial to a custard every now and then, but...
See, because I've got into, this is due to the wife, I've got into my Krispy Kreme donuts.
Oh, God, do you know what? I can't... The only other one I've ever tried is sort of like a sugar glazed. I can only ever have sort of like one every...
You hear me?
Now and then. Because they just make me feel ill.
Yeah, they are ridiculously, like, here, have a shit ton of sugar.
Yeah.
Yeah, and start bouncing off the walls.
Yeah.
So you just, it was like, what was that? I was in Tesco's, because they sell it in Tesco's. And you get like a tray of 12 for 20 quid. I'm like, fucking 12 donuts for 20 quid. Then I had one, and my eyes kind of went, wow.
Can you hear me?
With that, I can understand why people eat a shit ton of this now.
Yes, Paul, we can somewhat hear you. What's the update? And he's gone again.
Shouldn't be there like Peter Kay in that Peter Kay thing in the ice cream mountain. Bastard!
Right, can you hear me now?
Just about.
Just about.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh, it's like Basil Fawlty trying to get the fucking motor going.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you a damn good thrashing! Fucking thing.
Couldn't time that any better.
Am I back to normal?
Yeah, you're still distant.
How about now?
Better.
And now the telly's
Warmer.
back up and running as well.
Hey!
So I can now see what I'm doing. Fucking thing.
What a load of shit.
Jesus.
Jesus!
Now the PC nearly fell off. The fucking telly didn't work. Fucking microphone decided to give up the ghost. Oh, it's been What a great first start into the first half, eh? And for the record, my favourite donut filling, custard.
Good shout.
It is custard by a mile. I could hear everything, by the way. I could hear absolutely everything.
But we couldn't hear you.
Couldn't hear me. I was like this. Can you fucking hear me?
The worst I tried were there was a Morrison's fruit salad one which tasted bloody awful, and there's a Morrison's cola flavoured donut as well, which was again awful.
I remember you reviewing that. I think it was like your third ever episode of Lost Art.
Probably.
With the G-Man.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
It was one of them. I remember you mentioned it on your second episode, and then you got it on the third episode. So you followed through at least. But yeah,
probably did after that.
Yeah. So yeah, on that note, we're going to go for a very, very, very short break. We'll be right back after these very, very short messages.
Hey, this is Coxie, reminding you to check out the Lost Art of Podcasting. We cover reviews, interviews, listener topics, our own topics. We even take a general look at life and the world around us. So I'll find the Lost Art Podcasting on Spreaker, Stitcher, iTunes, even YouTube, and all of the good podcast places.
Hello, this is for...
Can't we say hello at the same time?
Fuck's sake. Hello! This is an advertisement for Master Debaters.
Oh, can we say Master Debaters together as well? Yeah?
Hello! I am Michael.
I'm Sean. I'm Toffer.
And we are the Master Debaters.
We are the Master Debaters.
That's what we want to do.
We're all saying it.
Yeah.
Hello! I'm Michael.
I'm Sean. I'm Toffer. And
we are the
Damn it,
Master
Sean!
Debaters.
I thought we were just doing...
Hello! I'm Michael.
I'm Sean. I'm Toffer.
We are...
The Master Debaters. You can find us on Twitter @_Master Debaters, SoundCloud, Podbean, and iTunes. Just do yourself a favour and jump aboard this podcast train. Choo choo, motherfucker!
Support the RAD podcast by finding us on Facebook, and then you can find us on Spreaker, Stitcher, iTunes, YouTube, and all good podcast catchers. Our Twitter handle is @UKRAD Podcast. Don't forget to follow our friends at The Lost Art of Podcasting. You can also find them on Facebook, Stitcher, YouTube, iTunes, and all other good podcast catchers. And there's a great family bar and restaurant upstairs. So for a great evening of fun and amazing food and nostalgic music, head to Reflex at the Vauxhall. And now it's back to the RAD podcast.